The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. If you're a sensitive snowflake that may get easily offended, then turn this off immediately. If you want to hear the real truth about the gun culture, then stick around. This is the Armed Citizen Podcast. What is going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode 126, I believe. I kind of got messed up last week and said it was 124, but it's actually 125. So I found that out going through my catalog and realized that, yep, I messed up. And this is episode 126. Thank you for joining, as always, live on YouTube. If you're watching this live, fantastic. Thank you. If you're out there in the chat, say hello, say something. We don't know you're out there unless you say something. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the podcast, the show, tell us that you're here for the first time. Let us know where you're from and all of that stuff. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and please feel free to tag me out there in the chat, or you can text them to 530-364-4678, and we will get those questions answered as well. So tonight, it's been a long minute. It's been a while since we kind of did one of these on our own and all of that. And I might bring some people in later on, but I want to get going and just trying to just say hello to everybody. And I've kind of been away and kind of out of it for a while and getting some stuff done with the family. And we got some family and friends coming in this weekend. And so having to get slideshows done and hotel reservations and food and all that stuff for a lot of people showing up, and so I've kind of been away, and so it is what it is. But it's nice to kind of just sit around and talk, and I love having people on and all that. But sometimes it's just nice to say hello. And before we get going, I do want to say something out there that the community lost someone. Mr. Holster has passed, so rest in peace, my friend. And I want to give a shout out to the Crazy Scotsman. Scotsman's been amazing. And if you guys don't know Scotsman, go check him out on YouTube. He's a great guy, but he really is one of the people that if someone's in need or something, he is one of the first ones to step up and try to help out as much as he can. So it's one of those things, but rest in peace, Mr. Holster, and you're in a better place. So yes, like I said, it's been a while since we kind of sat down and just talked for a while. And like I said, Clover says the free for all solo edition. Yeah, I don't do a lot of these. I need to start doing them more often. And it's nice to just kind of have fun and talk and all of that stuff. I always have guests on. And let's see here. Travis is asking about the new Spear Gold Dot Hollow Point and the 5.7 by 28. Love him some Ruger 57. I have not shot the Ruger 57. I've talked to people that have, and I've had mixed kind of feedback, I guess. Some people really like it, some people don't. As far as the Gold Dot Hollow Point, I have not shot it. So I would not be able to give you anything. I haven't really shot a lot in several months with stuff that's going on at home. So I have not shot it yet. I will probably try to. A buddy of mine just got the Ruger 57. So maybe this weekend I'm going to go out and shoot with it a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it. I love the FN 5.7. And I like the 5.7 by 28 round. I think it's a viable option for home and self-defense. And I'm hoping that maybe the Ruger gets more people into the 5.7 round. A lot of people before then was probably either going to be an FN product, whether it's the P90 or the FN 5.7, that we're going to shoot that. But maybe with Ruger coming in at a price point where it's a reasonable price for a gun chambered in 5.7 by 28, but maybe that more people get more involved in it. So yeah, time will tell, but I do like the 5.7 round. But I haven't shot, Travis. I haven't shot the Gold Dot yet, but maybe I will this weekend. Like I said, a buddy of mine just got the Ruger, so I'll probably go by and get some, and I'll let you know. How about that? So anyways, I wanted to say hello, welcome. If you're listening replay and all that, use the comments below. Any questions you have for me that I don't answer this. So we're going to kind of just throw it out there. Like I said, text them or tag me out there and we'll try to get those questions answered. But it's interesting. The channel's kind of starting to pick up some ground here. And I'm very thankful. I've had a few videos since coming back from SHOT that have done very well. And so hopefully it means there's new people coming onto the channel. Maybe there's new people coming out to the chat. So yeah, so it's kind of exciting to see a lot of feedback and people watching some of the videos we've put out. One of them we put out last week was about the interstate two-way sanctuary region between 8 or 9 states, and I think I might miss one, but I'm pretty sure it's Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, West Virginia, and I might have missed one there. I don't think I might have, but it's 8 or 9. And oh yeah, I forgot about that. Happy birthday, Gun Snob. So if snobs, you see Snob out there, wish him a happy birthday. Mystic's out there, and man, aren't you guys doing something for his birthday, or are y'all just kind of hanging out watching me? That's kind of like anticlimactic for a birthday, but it's all good. But yeah. Let's see here. I'm kind of going through to see if I see anything out there. Calavera says, not everyone is as good as Clovertech at monologuing for an hour. I'm not trying to be anybody else. So yeah, Clover does a good job, and you know, this is going to be my thing. And it's one of those things where, like I said, I don't do it very often. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun, but no, I'm not trying to be anybody. So it's what it is. Let's see here. Kind of going through. Diamondbacks coming with a 5.7. I think you're going to start seeing a lot of companies now that the 5.7's been out for a while. I mean, let's be honest, but it never really kind of caught on to the grand market because basically FN was the only one that really had the guns that were going to use it, and they can get relatively expensive. So I like the fact, whether or not that the Ruger is a good gun or not, what I think it does is it opens up the market to a $600 gun roughly that will be chambered in the 5.7 round. So I think people are going to be exposed to that 5.7 round a little bit more. And I think that there's going to be other companies jumping on board. So like I said, whether you're an FN person or not, the fact that the 5.7 could kind of start catching some legs, I think is kind of exciting. So it is what it is. I haven't gone through like the chat and didn't call outs for a while. So let's kind of go out there. Like I said, if you're new to the chat, new to the show, leave a comment out there. Let us know where you are, and we'll give you a shout out. So Gunpowder Beauty's out there. Kingpin is out there. George Washington's out there. Just Plinkin. Calaveras, the Tactical Pickle, is out there. Grandpa loving, or gun loving Grandpa. Buck's out there. Buck, we're having a fun shoot Sunday at the range if you want to come out from 2 to 4. Hopefully you can make it. Nighthog's out there. Nighthog, you're not too far away. If you want to come down to the range this Sunday and shoot, love to have you. I'll bring some of the stuff that I have for your winnings. I've got some ammo, and I've got a range bag and the Hearing Pro. The rest of it's going to be sent to you. But if you want to come by Sunday, I'll bring them to the range and come down and shoot with us, buddy. Jason Stewart's out there. Let's see here. Who am I missing? I'm going down. TPC's out there, the Poor Conservative. I love that name, by the way. Gunpowder Beauty. Hey, I think I said Kingpin, but if I didn't, Kingpin's out there. Mystic Guns, like I said, you should be out having dinner with your boy. It's his birthday. Texas Blade's out there. JJ's out there. What's up, JJ? Let's see. AWAG's out there. Howdy, he says. Howdy, partner. Let's see here. WB's out there. And Snob's out there. He says first. He's probably about number 17, but it's all good. Happy birthday, brother. Hope you had a good day. Hope you have a great couple days and all that. But happy birthday. I'm not going to sing for you. Clover Tag's out there. 223 DMR's out there. Missouri in the house. What's up, 223? We're not too far. I'm down here in Arkansas. So welcome. Travis P's out there. What's up, buddy? I'm missing Weston's out there. What's up, Weston from Oklahoma? Let's see here. George Washington. I think I said George out there. The first president of the United States. We're very blessed to have someone from the other side come in and join us. But thank you, George, Mr. President. Start calling him Prez. Let's see here. G23's out there. Said, "What's up, y'all?" And Snob is 21 today. Let's support. I'm going to be turning 45 in a couple months. And I'd like to say that this is my 20th anniversary of my 25th birthday. So I'll always be 25. It just might be, a couple anniversaries after that. So let's see here. I think I said Texas Blades. Ozzy's out there. Bark, baby, bark. Warsaw Patriots out there. How you doing? Pink's out there. What's up, Pink? Always good seeing Pink at SHOT Show. Pink works his ass off at SHOT Show. Andrew Faulkner's out there. He said Bloomberg ad before the show. Really? There's a Bloomberg ad before the show. You gotta love that. Well, fantastic, huh? Pink says, "Ask Ghost anything, but will he answer? If I can, I will. If I can't, I will tell you. I am not the guy that's going to make shit up just to make me sound smarter, because everyone knows I ain't too smart." So, anyways, Travis P11, Josan's out there, New York Outcast is out there, but Travis says, "Ghost, would you rather purchase a new PSA, the PS9 Dagger, or an LEO trade in Gen 3 Glock 19? Well, I already have 3 Gen 3 Glock 19s. Gen 3 is my favorite. I do like the finger grooves for my hand. It fits, it feels great. My Gen 3 is my favorite gen. So all my 19s and 17s are all Gen 3. So I would probably go with a Dagger just because I've already got several Gen 3 19s. I would say go the Dagger for a couple of reasons. One, like I said, I've already got a bunch of the Gen 3 19s. More importantly, I love to try out the Dagger. It was nice to get my hands on it at SHOT. It feels pretty good for a $300 basic, kind of their version of a Glock. I want to see how it runs. I want to see what it's like, because I think that you get a $300 gun that's, similar to a Glock 19. That opens the doors for a lot of people that talk about, well, I only have a few $100s, I can't afford a Glock or whatever. I still think that maybe Canic out there for the price, and the Canic 1 series is basically the same gun, but maybe a little, not the holster and the mags, but for $300, the Canic out there is as good as anything. Probably the best out there that I've kind of run, but I would love to run the Dagger and see how it goes. I'm hopeful that the Dagger shoots as well as it feels and looks. So I would probably go with a Dagger right now. Newark Outcast says, "Oh, I just lost it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Midnight Range is out there. Ghost chilling for Mike." Yeah. What's the most embarrassing thing you've done? First car, first gun, date you wish you never had, ammo brand preference. The most embarrassing thing, man, I've done so many embarrassing things. A lot of them were alcohol induced. So I'll come back to that one. But I'll go to your first car. My first car was a 1965 Mustang that my grandfather, he died when I was 13 and left me a couple $1,000s for a first car. And bought it when I was 13 and spent the next 3 years kind of fixing it up. And I drove it for a couple years. I had it until about 5 or 6 years ago. But that was my first car, 1965 Mustang, hard top. Yeah. So yeah, that was it. First gun. The first gun that I bought was right out of boot camp. I was 19 years old. Came back home for boot camp. We had 10 days off. Wanted to get a rifle. Once again, people know me, that I didn't start shooting until the Marine Corps. So boot camp was kind of the first time I really ever shot and was taught anything. So I was hooked. So I came back home for the 10 days after boot camp. Came home, went to Walmart, and got a Winchester 30-30. First handgun was a few years later. Bought for about $150. I bought a Smith & Wesson Model 10. And people that know me also know this story. I hated it. I couldn't afford much, so that was the one gun that a friend of mine's dad was willing to get rid of for the money that I had. So I was stuck with the Model 10. Hated it, and to this day, I still have never bought another revolver. Unfortunately, I did sell the Model 10 about a year later, and I really wish I wouldn't for multiple reasons. One, I'd love to give the revolvers a second chance, and I'm going to. I plan on buying a revolver this year, but more importantly, it was the first handgun that I ever bought, and I didn't keep it, and so I'm a little pissed at myself about that. Date you wish you never had. Man, I had a lot of dates. I had a lot of first dates. My wife likes to make fun of me. We met when I was stationed over in Okinawa, Japan, and I guess you could say that I was friendly, and I enjoyed the company of women and girls. So even in high school, I had a really good time, and I never really dated very long. So I had a lot of first dates, had a lot of fun. There are a lot of dates that I wish I wouldn't have had, probably because I was just an idiot, and so a lot of them that I wish I wouldn't had. Ammo brand preference depends on what you're talking about. For carry, I do carry the Hornady Critical Defense and all of my handguns. Big fan of that. It's something that I've shot a lot of and been through a lot of different guns and never had an issue. So it's kind of one of that staple in my thing. If I'm going to carry it, it's going to be a Hornady Critical Defense. As far as kind of going to the range, honestly, Blazer. Just kind of it's not the cheapest, but it's not obviously not the most expensive, but it's for what it is. I love a 124 grain 9mm Blazer round, and I've never had a problem. I've never had any really issues with it. So I kind of I like Blazer. That's probably my favorite as far as stock production ammo. Ghost, can we be Master Blaster for Halloween? Holy hell. Pancake Boy, go away. Warsaw says, by the way, just got some sad news. We lost another good to a person. If you must have missed the beginning, I did mention Mr. Holster out there, so rest in peace, brother. Let's see here. I'm probably going to try to catch up here. I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't have it in me to go fast. Let's see here. Alcohol induced, best induced. Well, some people can say that. I enjoyed a drink there for a long time. I don't drink very often anymore. So I had my time, had my day in the sun. Travis drove his BMW 320i down closed road, leaving my ex-girlfriend's house in high school. The road was open earlier the day and figured, hey, this road should be fine. That sounds like fun. Rich White, his most embarrassing thing is admitting on YouTube that he claimed he is Steve Miller's nephew. Okay, that is true. It's not embarrassing. I was proud of that moment. And I'm from Dallas, so is Steve Miller. And if you guys heard of Steve Miller Band, every Memorial Day weekend, there was a big 3-day concert that he was one of the headliners at one of the nights at the I don't remember what it's called, a Starplex, maybe. I can't remember what it's called, Coca-Cola Starplex, whatever. It was an outdoor complex. And after one of the shows one year, I was 17 or so, went backstage, and then obviously I didn't have a pass, and told the bouncer that I was Steve Miller's nephew. And then he looked at me like crazy. He's like, well, your name is on the list. And I was like, well, why would my name be on the list? I don't need it. I'm his nephew. And back then there wasn't cell phones, there wasn't, the internet and all that. And so he was like, well, let me see your ID. And this big old dude pulled my ID out. And obviously my last name is Miller. And he looked at me. He still didn't want to let me. And I said, dude, do you want to be the one that has to, get told by my uncle, why did you not let my nephew in? So I kind of pulled that. Anyways, got to hang out backstage with Steve Miller and the band for a while. So that worked. It's not embarrassing, Rich. I'm proud of that moment. I was quite the artful dodger back then. If I could sell off or rent off my high school parking lot over the weekend for some kind of thing, I would have. I mean, I'm always looking to have fun, play some jokes. I'm always looking to have a little fun in life. So yeah, that was one of my fun times. Idaho says, have you or your dog ever been a member of the Democratic Party? Lala, just kidding. Semper Fidelis brother. No, I'm a registered Republican. I want to say, I don't think I've ever voted Democrat. I don't think I did. If I did, it might have been for Clinton back in the day. And no, it wasn't, because I was overseas. Well, I was back home. I did not vote for Clinton in 96. So yeah, I don't think I've ever voted for nope, I never voted for a Democrat. Let's see here. What is my social security number? 123456789. There you go. What do I think about Costain Arms? I just this is from G23. I had never heard of them until, was it Sunday night over on Midnight Ranges podcast, and as I was watching that and listening to them talk, I'm very interested. I've been doing some research the last couple of days, and I have nothing to say about them because I've never talked with them. I've never dealt with them, but I'm very intrigued by what they're doing. So yeah, I think I'm definitely going to try to check them out and see what I can do. And, you guys know me, I'm not a huge 1911 fan, but, working a deal with some people with Devil Dog Arms, doing some work with them, hopefully. But, a 3.5 inch 9mm 1911 is intriguing to me for carry. And I think that if you have a 9mm and 3.5 inches and a 1911, that opens up the possibilities for people that do like the feel of a 1911 to actually carry one if they're not 6'3". So I'm always intrigued by something that I think that could open up the different market for carry guns. So absolutely, I'm intrigued. So I'll be doing some more research on them. All wives do that, I think. Yeah. What is the combo to your gun safe? 0000. So come on by and try to check it out. We'll meet you at the front door. How about that? That was from unknown user. 223 DMR says, I have a Taurus PT 111 G2 and I love it. I ran 2,000 rounds through it. I've never owned a Taurus. I've shot a bunch of Taurus, but I've never owned a Taurus. I've never heard a bad thing about them, and so I've never, let's say I've never owned one, but I have shot a bunch of them. The PT 111 is pretty good. Matter of fact, there are a lot of people saying that if I do go and buy a revolver this year, and I don't remember the model number, so don't shoot me, no pun intended, but or pun intended, whatever. But there's a couple Taurus revolvers that people are said are really nice. So I'm looking maybe to get a Taurus, and like I said, I've never owned one, but I have shot several too. And the PT 111 is pretty good. Nighthawk says first gun he bought was a Python 1973 first duty gun. Interesting. A Python is the first gun. Fantastic. Mojo and Cave Punch on the Rock. I might have missed something. I don't know. Might have missed something there. Might have missed something. Let's see here. Let's see. Going down. Best golf tournament you ever played in. And I played in when I was still playing full time back in late 90s and early 2000s, I played in a lot of great tournaments. As far as the best tournament that I actually played, like the best I played in a tournament, was a course in San Antonio, and it's actually luckily my home course. So I played there every day, and I knew that course left and right, and I won by a pretty far amount, but I shot 65, 63, 62, 65 in a par of 72. So at the time, 65 was the course record. So 3 straight days, I either tied or broke the course record, which was kind of fun. So this is my home course, but that was the best I ever played in tournament consistently was that one. So that was a fun. It'd be a good memory. With the cleaning chemicals we use, I wonder if there's a higher cancer rate with gun owners. That's a good question. I don't know. That's a great question. I don't think I've ever looked that up or had anyone talk about that, but there are some chemicals that we use that might not be the greatest, but especially with the lead. Lead poisoning is probably, even without the chemicals we're using to clean, the lead poisoning, it's going to take a long time, but there are people, that handle and all that. They're not using gloves. Who knows? But that's interesting. I never thought about that. Rich White, my plan where to got him to tell a Steve Miller story. It's a fun story. It's a fun story. Black Cat Outdoors making me do freaking algebra, man. What the hell? A train traveling for. No, I'm not even gonna fuck with that. I'm too dumb. Ghost, what's the dumbest thing you've seen someone do? Think on it. Okay, I'll think on that, and I'll come back to that one. There are a lot of stories. We did a lot of stupid things in the Marine Corps. Just saying, we did a lot of stupid things. Okay, I got one. True story. A kid that we grew up with, our senior year, we had won 3 straight state championships in soccer and were ranked national champions. We had several on our team that played big time college soccer, and our goalie was the best goalie in America. And he was going to go play at North Carolina, which, if you know anything about, and I mean, I don't know about now, but back then, North Carolina it's like the Duke basketball program. It was like the one. Anyway, so we had a big party one night celebrating a state championship and all of that. And it's about 2:00 in the morning, and we had Whataburger was right around the corner, and Whataburger at the time was 24 hours. So when one of my buddies said, "Hey, I'm gonna go to Whataburger," everybody went. They were like, "Hell yeah, we're hungry as hell." So he said, "What do we do?" I said, "Man, just get like 10 cheeseburgers and 10 fries. We're good, you know." So we're having a good time, partying a little bit, and didn't realize it's like an hour later. We're like, "Man, where's our food?" Getting starved and hungry. And about that time, the phone rings, and it's my buddy. And I answer the phone. It wasn't at my house, but I answered the phone. I was happy to be there. He's like, "Hey, man, come get me." I'm like, "Where are you?" You know, and he was like, "I'm in jail." I'm like, "I ain't coming to get you, bro." We were pretty lit, and the last thing I was going to do was leave the house. So like, "Hey, we'll come get you tomorrow," and all that stuff. So we went by his house the next morning, got about every CD he had. It was like 50 or 100 CDs. Went to a pawn shop and pawned them for like nothing, but it was enough to get him out. And he was pissed about that, by the way, that we pawned all of his CDs, but it is what it is. So anyways, we get over there, and the resource officer that works at the high school happened to be there. And I was like, "Officer Parker, what's going on?" And he's like, "That fool." So we had satellite police departments all around the city where you could just go up and pay tickets or re-register your license plate or all that and just drive through. It's an old Burger Kings or whatever. They just convert into police stations, so you didn't have to go in and all that. And apparently there was one next to the Whataburger, and apparently he pulled up to the police station, ordered 10 burgers and 10 fries. So yeah, that's not a story for me, but that's one of the funniest stories I've ever had about a friend, because it was just stupid. So it is what it is. When do the 2 trains meet? I don't know. I'm not that smart, RL. Unknown user says, "Ghost, have you seen the crayon Pez dispensers in a crayon box? I thought of you when I saw them." I haven't seen that. I do want to send a shout out to Night Strike. This is probably back in December, early January. He found online. I keep forgetting to get it, but I am going to order one, a P-Mag that's kind of been painted with crayons. So I'll get one of those. When I get that, I'll do some videos with it, with the AR and all that, and have a good time. Rich says the Cosane pistol feels really nice in the hand, nice balance, fit, and finish. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm all in on a 3.5-inch 9mm 1911. I would love to get my hands on one of those and see if it's a viable option for carry. So, Warsaw, this could go any direction, guys. It's Warsaw, so you never know. But he says he's got a question. Is it better to have a recruit who has some knowledge and experience on how to handle a firearm, such as a rifle or pistol, when it comes to join the Marine Corps or Navy? Interesting you asked that. When I say I had limited experience, I might have shot like a 22 3 or 4 times in my life in my buddy's ranch at Cans or, Snake or something. So I really had no experience in shooting anything when I want to join the Marine Corps. What they told me was they appreciated that and they liked that because they could teach me how to shoot the Marine Corps way. So I didn't come in with preconceived notions of how good I was or whatever. I hadn't been hunting my whole life, so I didn't have all of that. I would say that for the Marine Corps, just to be a basic rifleman and all that, I think they probably would rather have someone that may have limited experience because they can kind of teach you how they want you to shoot. Now, if we're talking about probably going and being a sniper in the military, whatever branch it is, I think that probably if you have previous long range experience with hunting and all that, and you can know how to work a scope and calculate all the dopes and all that, then that might help maybe in a sniper situation. But just becoming a basic rifleman, I think they probably would rather have someone with limited to no experience so they can make sure they teach you the right way or their way, and to where you're not maybe arrogant with the firearm. So I was obviously very careful and learned everything I could because I had no experience. So I guess that's probably what my answer would be. Thanks, Warsaw. Midnight Rain says Ghost Tactical. They're not far from you in Flat Rock, North Carolina. I'm in Arkansas, bro. Do you know how far North Carolina is? It's not terribly far, but I mean, it's not like it's around the corner, you know. It's really his Bluetooth code. Must have been one of the codes I was giving out earlier. Let's see here. Man, I gotta catch up. G23, I have lots of respect for them on how fast they respond to my emails. Oh, it must be talking about Coach saying, yeah, he mentioned you, I think, on the podcast that you had sent some, and yeah, that's awesome. I love good customer service. Trump 2020, it's looking like we keep strong, get out to the polling booths. I think Trump's going to have a very, very good chance of winning, and I think it could be big. Could be big. Idaho says, what happened to Hoffa? Where's the Lindbergh baby who was on the grassy knoll? Was the moon landing stage? And what's the square root of 5797? The last one? I don't know. 42, maybe 42. I don't know. What happened to Hoffa? He got killed. He took his power with the Teamsters a little serious and got whacked. I tell you what, if you guys have about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, I know it's a long movie. It's either on Netflix or it's on Amazon. I want to say it's on Netflix. Go check out The Irishman. It's with Robert De Niro plays the Irishman, Joe Pesci, and Al Pacino plays Hoffa. Phenomenal. Came out maybe about 6 months ago. Phenomenal movie. It's a long one, but it is a great one, and that's a really good depiction on Hoffa. So go check that out. Hoffa got whacked. Where's a Lindbergh baby? Honestly, I don't know. It might not be alive. I mean, Lindbergh baby was a long time ago. It's maybe dead. I don't know. Who was on the grassy knoll? Second shooter. That's all I'll say. Was the moon landing staged? Absolutely not. We went to the moon, and anyone that says differently is crazy. Yeah. Let's see here. What color crayons taste the best? Everyone knows that. This is the grape crayons taste the best. Everyone knows that, RL. Anyone who knows anything about crayons knows that grape crayons are the best. So, yeah. Let's see here. See, Idaho, he agrees. RL, the two trains made it a point 140 miles from Westford, 120 miles from Eastford. Fantastic. Have y'all ran a Mini 14 much? Nope. I've shot one maybe a couple times. Maybe have 50 rounds total in my life with a Mini 14. Never been around them a whole lot, so no, don't have a ton of experience with them. Like them, but there, in my opinion, there are a lot of other things out there that I'd rather have than a Mini 14. So the only time I'm going to shoot a Mini 14 is if one of my buddies has one at the range. But yeah, I don't have much experience with it. Let's see here. Would you take a training course with your least favorite gun? Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. I've actually, it's not my least favorite gun. It might be my least favorite gun just because my guns are nicer. But I've actually taken a training course for my high point, 9mm. Not the carbine, but the actual pistol. I've actually taken a training course because here's the thing. I keep my high point in my truck quite a bit. It's just like the emergency backup, like the fourth gun down the line in my truck or whatever. But I do have the high point in the truck at times. And if you're going to use that, you need to be proficient with it. You need to know how it manipulates. You need to know all that stuff. I have actually taken a 4-hour training class with my high point. So absolutely, I think that you should take a class with any gun that you possibly ever could potentially ever need in a self-defense scenario. So absolutely, I have, and I will continue to do so. That was from Weston out there. Let's see here. Where is Smeggy 42? California. I think, Smeggy, am I right? You're still out in Cali? Last time I knew you were out in California, so I'm going to say, where is he's in California right now? He's in this chat room. So the Tactical Snowman is making an appearance. So what's up? Idaho says, no, bad habits are hard to break in a Marine Corps. Maybe you're talking about shooting, possibly. Oh no, you says, by the way, I haven't got my Ghost tactical hat yet. You haven't really? No, I sent that a hell of a long time ago. I've had people that have said, like, I've gotten stuff like 3 weeks, a month after people have sent me stuff, and this my post office is kind of wacky. If you don't get it for like in a week or so, let me know and I'll go have one made up and I'll send it to you again. I hadn't heard anything, so I assume that you already had it, but if not, let me know and I'll figure it out. That's weird. You should have had it by now. Anyways, let me know. Let's see here. Trying to catch up. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. They found the body of the Lindbergh baby near the home shortly after kidnapping. There you go. Yeah, Smeggy says he watched The Irishman twice and fell asleep both time. Yeah, it's a long movie. It's good, but it's a long movie. You're gonna have to maybe have some no-dos or some jolt or something going on there. New York Outcast says, Ghost, did you buy an H2 to be like Arnold? Be honest, are you happy with it? I have an H3. I don't have an H2. I have a Hummer H3. I love it. I'm happy with it. I'm not one of those that's going to take it crazy off road, but I mean, here in Arkansas, off road could just be a road. So I have had no problems with it. I love it. It's fun to drive. It doesn't get the greatest gas mileage, but no, I love it. So, but I have an H3. Warsaw says, I have a lot of respect for Marines, and I tell you, I think the Navy is also not known that they work with Marines, especially when a lot of people don't know about medical corpsmen. Okay, so let's dig into this. I will say this. I will jab on the squids all the time. I will jab on the fly boys, and I will jab on the army dogs all the time. That's just what we do, and they will jab on us. I will say this. I take it very seriously when people who didn't serve jab on anyone who served. That's just the way it goes anyways. But as far as the Navy personnel that I had contact with, we had some team guys we worked with, and obviously the corpsmen. I will say this. God bless the Navy corpsmen. The corpsmen are the closest thing to being Marines that are not Marines. And you mess with a corpsman, you're going to have Marines that will back that corpsman up 100% of the time. Corpsmen are badass. Love them. They, like I said, they are surrogate brothers. They are part of our family. I'll tell you who else are pretty cool, or the Navy, the Seabees. They're kind of like their engineers. Seabees are very, very good as well. But yeah, don't ever, if you're around me, don't ever downplay the importance or ever dog a corpsman in front of me, because you're not going to like it. Respect the corpsman, love the corpsman, and I think that any Marine that's ever been around a corpsman will say the same thing. God bless the corpsman. Let's see here. Warsaw says, when you were younger, what are you, like 24 now? I mean, good Lord. Still a baby. When I was younger, I never heard of a Navy corpsman. Yeah, corpsmen are the real deal. Real deal. Smeggy says, what was your favorite thing or gun it shot? Sorry, I've been out of the loop. Damn, dude. Damn, man. I put a video out like right after that, and a few people have seen it. But honestly, my number one product that I saw at, it could have been a toss-up between two or three of them, but I went with, it used to be the Iron Horse, the Tor, the thumb operated receiver, come from Iron Horse. Iron Horse and Blackwater have merged, so it's now Blackwater Firearms, and they renamed it the Iron Horse, but it's the thumb operated AR system, and love it. I think it's going to be great. It puts you in a really solid position mechanically. You're not going to be able to jerk the trigger with that thumb trigger, so I think that has a potential, especially maybe for precision shooting, long range stuff. I think that Blackwater Iron Horse was awesome. But there's a couple of the products. The Mean Arms trigger was amazing. The Axion optics have the second zero, which is amazing. Yeah, so there were several that I liked. There was a lot of good innovation this year. It really was. So I was really happy to see that. Gizzard Gary's out there. What's up, Gary? Let's see here. I don't know what happened. with Warsaw, but Gary gave him the lecture, the stern chicken stare. So yeah. Let's see here. Golly, it skips on me. Sorry. Patriot says, I hear a rumor you have patches. I've got a handful left. Do you not have one of my patches? I'll send you one. I figured for sure you had one. Yeah, I've got some left. So yeah, let me know. Let's see here. Ghost Tactical still want the Glow in the Dark patch G23. Yeah, man. Like I said, I know that you had sent me an email, and I'm sorry for not getting back. I've been a little crazy the last while, dealing with the family stuff. But I'll get one to you. I'll get one to you. How about that? Let's see here. It just looks like the H2 next to Ghost. Yeah, that was funny, RL. No, that's probably true. I make everything look big, right? Except for Clover. He makes me look big. That's why I like Clover. That's why Clover is a good friend of mine. He makes me feel like tall and all of that. So there's very few people that make me feel like that, but he's one of them. So maybe that's why I hang out with him a lot. Let's see here. How much sea time I got? I didn't spend a lot of time on a boat, but I'll tell you this. So we were coming back from somewhere. This is in 1995, and we flew out and landed in Korea. Spent a few days in Korea, and then we're going to take a ship back over to mainland Japan to do some more training there before we headed back to Okinawa. So we got to spend some time on the USS Bella Wood, and it was a flat bottom boat. And for most of you know that if we're just catching a ride, we really don't have any responsibilities. Maybe had to stand watch or something, but don't have a lot of responsibilities on board of the ship. And so I thought those would be kind of fun to hang out and all that. And that was the worst time of my life. The flat bottom, we felt every single damn wave. So I was sicker than a dog, and the Navy guys loved that we were not feeling well. They loved that. So my only experience on a ship was not fun. We flew most of the places we went. So there you go. Rich White says the Navy and Air Force are great for getting the fighters and the Marines and Army where they need to be. Honestly, I mean, yes. But, the great thing about the armed forces is we all specialize in different things. And we're all capable of doing different things, but without one another, then we aren't who we are as a U.S. Armed Forces. And anyone that wears that American flag on them, they understand that we'll dog each other, but without each other, whether it's getting somewhere or logistics or supply or whatever, without everyone working together, the U.S. Armed Forces will never be really what it is, which is the strongest force in the world, and maybe it's the strongest force of all time in the world. So everyone has to play a role. Calaveras says H3 5 or 8 cylinder, and how many gear import H1 series? How about mine is a 5 cylinder. I don't know. Mine's an 07. It's an old one. I've had it for a while, but it's an 07. But it's only got like 120,000 miles on it, so I haven't driven it a ton. The H3 is a 5 cylinder. How about Gear Report's H1 series? I love the H1 series. If you guys like it, over on Gear Report's YouTube, it's a great series about Show Us Your Hummer, and they got people all over the world that are driving Humvees. And actually, it's Show Us Your Humvee. I made it into Show Us Your Hummer because it was a joke, but no, Gear Report's Show Us Your Humvee is a great series. Go check that out. Am I getting close? Ghost Tactical, best war movie, best Western movie. Man, there's some really great war movies out there. I will say, man, there's some great ones. I will say the first 10 to 15 minutes of Saving Private Ryan is about as good as it gets. Man, that was so real. And I would say that the rest of the movie is good. Don't get me wrong. I would say Saving Private Ryan is my favorite, but the first 10 to 15 minutes of the actual beach landing at Omaha was as good of a cinematic display of war that I think there's ever been or ever probably will be. The first 10 to 15 minutes of Saving Private Ryan is absolutely phenomenal. Best Western movie. All right, so there's three of them. First one is Good, Bad, and the Ugly with Clint Eastwood. Any of these three movies, anytime they're on, I'll watch them, period, in a sentence. So I would say I don't have one. All three of these are like number one. Good, Bad, and the Ugly. John Wayne's Rio Bravo. Love Rio Bravo. And if I had to pick one, just because it was kind of when I was growing up, and those other ones were older with John Wayne and Clint Eastwood, but when I was growing up, Silverado. And if you're about my age and you remember Silverado, I still love Silverado. So I would say those three are my three favorite Westerns of all time. Let's see here. Yeah, the beginning of Private Ryan was crazy. Yeah, I would imagine that if your grandpa was anywhere around that, or your grandpa was in World War II, I think he was at Guadalcanal. But yeah, that's one of those. That's one of those things that's just amazing. It's great, great, great movie. What's the most useless piece of gear I own? Oh Lord. I don't know. I don't think I have a useless piece of gear. I try not to buy things that I don't have a plan for or a use for. And I might not use it on an everyday basis, and it might be for a prepping thing or down the road for shit at the fan. But I don't think I have a useless piece of gear. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure I do, but I can't think of anything that I would say is useless. Midway is, I have not seen Midway yet. Don't kill me. I've been preoccupied. I haven't seen Midway yet. I want to so bad, so I need to go see it. Travis says, yeah, Guadalcanal. So, yeah, I want to see Midway so bad. I feel terrible that I haven't. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. RL says Silverado is great. Outlaw Josie Wales. God, I mean, there's another one. I mean, really, it's tough, isn't it? It is tough to sit there and talk about favorite, like, movies or something, because there's just so many good, especially in the Western thing, and man, yeah, the Outlaw Josie Wales is great. I didn't even think about that one. Yeah, that's a great one too. Hamburger Hill is a great, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great ones out there. I'd say another good movie that was, I don't know if you guys enjoy it. Some people say they hated it, but it's a Hacksaw Ridge, man. That was a great movie. And for someone that spent some time in Okinawa, I don't think it was obviously filmed in Okinawa. Was it about the Battle of Okinawa? Obviously, that's where my wife's from. But Hacksaw Ridge was really, really good as well. That came out, a couple years ago. That was really good. I enjoyed that. The Shootist is probably John Wayne's best performance. I mean, how can you, I don't know. There are a lot of great performances from John Wayne. The Shootist. Ghost Tactical, you're excited for the new possible John. They're already filming John Wick 4. So yeah, I'm a big fan of John Wick movies. I like action. The one thing that I love about the John Wick movies is there's very little plot. And you don't have to be very smart, and you don't have to do anything but go into a movie theater or sit down on your couch, put the Blu-ray in or whatever, and just have fun with action. So that's the great thing about the John Wick movies, is if you're just an action freak and you don't want to have to think, then the John Wick movies are for you. And that's what I love about them. And yeah, I can't wait for the next one to come out. Cal says he enjoyed Hacksaw Ridge. Yeah, G20. Yeah, the great ones. Mandatory Carry says, is there a real difference between Semper Fi and Semper Fidelis? No. Semper Fidelis is the actual always faithful. Semper Fi is just kind of the way we shorten. We like to shorten things. Once again, we're not very smart in the Marine Corps. But no, Semper Fi is just a way of shortening it. So yeah, Semper Fi, Semper Fidelis, same thing, but Semper Fidelis is the actual saying of always faithful. So there you go. When John Wick came out, he loved the Russia mob fighting him. It was, I mean, there's all, I mean, the fight scenes are incredible. My favorite fight scene in any of the John Wicks in the last, and if you haven't seen John Wick 3, spoiler alert, sorry, but the greatest fight scene that I've seen in any of the John Wicks are when he and Halle Berry are fighting and she's sending the dogs out. And these two German shepherds are just going ape shit, attacking people on command. It was awesome. So that was my favorite thing, is the fight scene with the German shepherds. Freaking amazing, really was. And then obviously the horses kicking, he would slap him in the ass and they would kick, and the enemy would just get hit and kicked in the head. That's funny as hell. But the dog scenes with the German shepherds and John Wick 3, unbelievable, awesome. The Cowboys was my favorite. Just watch Stagecoach. I mean, can you really? I mean, if you go John Wayne or Clint Eastwood, I mean, how do you pick? They're all. I mean, they're all great. The hardest part is picking between Eastwood and John Wayne. You know, that's to be the hardest part, is which one. I don't think that you can. If I had to, good Lord, I don't even want to. I'm asking myself a question. I probably would go with maybe Eastwood. Especially if we're talking Westerns. If we're talking overall, I mean, yeah, John Wayne, John Wayne was great, but if we're just talking about straight, pure Westerns, I would probably say that I like Eastwood better as in Westerns. Let's see here. Good Lord, I'm sorry. Cal says the hard thing with John Wayne movies is because studio system and typecasting. Most of his movies are rehashed the same thing. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We talk a little bit about but a lot of people today talk about like people like Denzel Washington, where they say that every part that Denzel plays, it's the same character, just in a different movie. And I think that that's the way it was with John Wayne, and to a certain extent, until later on in his life, Clint Eastwood. You know, Clint Eastwood was the same character, whether he was a cop or in a Western, he was the same guy. And I think a lot of actors back then were, because that's what people wanted to see. That was kind of like the golden age of movies becoming really, really popular and famous in these mega movies, that once they found John Wayne, they liked John Wayne, or they liked Clint Eastwood, or they liked, you know, Dean Martin, or all these guys. That became them. Look at Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro is a phenomenal actor, but he plays himself. I think he's not really acting a lot of time. I think that's just him. So yeah, I would say that a lot of the stuff that John Wayne did and Clint Eastwood did were probably the same thing, but that's how they did it back then, for sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see here. It's funny though that I'm the John Wick movies. Most of the stuff they're using in states such as New York, they're using a lot of contraband illegal stuff. Would you get? It's a movie, bro. Don't overthink it, Warsaw. Don't overthink it. It's a movie. It's a movie. G23, so you never seen John Wick? You need to, bro. You need to go see John Wick. Jacob says, I always thought that Semper Fi meant live long and God bless America. No, it means always faithful. Semper Fidelis means always faithful. So that's why, you know, people say that the Marines are usually the closest and we're the tightest kind of all the branches. There's so few of us. That's one thing. But we take Semper Fi, we take Semper Fidelis very seriously. So, yeah, Semper Fidelis means always faithful. Sure does. Federal and state. I don't know what that means, brother. I must have missed something. G23 FY never was a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, unless you were dishonorably discharged. There you go. What's up, Star? What's going on, girly? What's going on? Keith says, what's up, Keith? He likes I like Denzel, but let's be honest, a lot of Denzel's characters are the same character, just in a different plot. Two movies that I loved him in: Crimson Tide, phenomenal, and Bone Collector. Bone Collector with Angelina Jolie. I loved him. He was obviously a paraplegic and was a detective from a bed, but he was great in Bone Collector. Bone Collector and Crimson Tide are my two probably favorite Denzel movies. Yeah. Let's see here. Ghost, you ever cried after being forced to watch Hallmark movie with the lady? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I cry. I'm not that guy that thinks he's too macho to say he doesn't cry. Anyone who doesn't cry needs to go get their fucking heart checked. Yeah, I cry. I have emotions, and there are things in my life that strike a nerve. If I see something with, you know, kids being hurt or whatever, I'm a person that's pretty sensitive to those emotions. So absolutely, I cry during certain things, and I'm not afraid to say it. And yeah, absolutely. Um, is it the closest? It's true, even after moving to another branch. No idea what you're talking about, Mandatory. Maybe explain a little bit. Man on Fire for Denzel. Man on Fire. Which one was that? It sounds familiar. I probably saw it, but there's so many movies. I don't remember which one that was. But remind me which one that was. Warsaw says Robert De Niro. Have little respect for actor in movies, some in politics. I don't know. Look, here's the thing about me. And people know this about me that are close to me. I go to the movies for entertainment. I'm not that guy that's going to movies. Okay, so I don't read comic books. I've never read a comic book in my life. I do enjoy DC and Marvel movies, but I don't know anything what happens in the comics. I don't know, I didn't read the Harry Potter books. I love Harry Potter. I'm a Harry Potter fanboy. And yes, I'm saying that I'm a Harry Potter fanboy, so bring it on. But I don't read comic books. I don't go to movies to judge how close they are to comic books, or when there's a John Wick, he knows what he's doing handling the guns. But when there's a lot of guns, people say, oh, that person's anti-2A, so I'm not going to go watch that movie. Or I can't watch a movie because they're handling the guns wrong. I go to movies for entertainment. So I can really care less what someone's politics is. If it's something that's going to be a good movie, I'm judging a movie based on whether I like it or not. I don't, there are actors that I just don't like. I won't go see their movies, but it's not because they're politics. Life is too short to get caught up mentally and all that stuff. I have enough stress on my life on a day-to-day basis. So when I go to a movie, I am going for entertainment. I can really give a shit what the politics is. I don't care. Oh, well. Man on Fire was the bodyguard. Oh yeah, down in Mexico or something like that. If that's what you're talking about, I think it was in Mexico or something. Yeah, that was I forgot about that one. That was a really good one. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. I think it was in Mexico, but the bodyguard. Yes, absolutely. Great movie for sure. Buck says, don't ghosts look like a preacher, dark shirt and a white collar. It was, you live half an hour from me, Buck. It's cold as shit today. So I'm wearing long sleeves and a shirt, a t-shirt, little, I don't know, performance t-shirt. But I didn't even think about it. I guess, yeah, bless you, my son. New York says some can get you. Ghost, best use of a boot band. Oh my god! Boot bands. Use them for. I still use boot bands for different things. All sorts. Good lord, all sorts of stuff. I used to wear when I was in the Corps. And tell me if you did this, Patriot, or any other Marines out there. I used to wrap it around my wrist, and I would have one on my wrist at all times. I've always worn bracelets and all that. And you really weren't supposed to wear jewelry. You could wear a wedding ring, maybe a watch. But I wore a boot band just because it was kind of like the paracord, maybe before paracord was a thing. So I always wore a boot band because you could do so many things with a boot band, but it was also part of the uniform per se. So they wouldn't ever get mad at me wearing that around my wrist. So I always wrapped one around and hooked it up and wore it as a bracelet because, like you said, there are so many things you could use with a boot band for. So absolutely. Let's see here. Big fish makes me cry. Big fish. I don't know what Big Fish is. Man on Fire. Bodyguard goes on a rampage with other girls he's supposed to protect. Yeah, that was a great movie. Yep. Great movie. RL says he cries when he's out of beer. I understand that feeling, brother. David Ramirez says, preach. I will preach, but I don't know what you want me to preach about. How about that? Jacob says, I was reading a comic that had guns in it, and what I saw ejected was a fully loaded round. Not just the case. Thoughts? Not very well could be. I don't know. I mean, it could have been CGI'd in. I don't think they, most of them don't use blanks anymore. I think after the Brandon Lee incident with the Crow back in the early 90s when he was shot with live ammo, which they thought were all blanks, I don't even know if they use blanks anymore. I think they probably just CGI. I don't think they use anything anymore. So they probably CGI'd the full round. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, that would be kind of funny. RL says, cold. He was out fishing today. He was always in the upper 30s. You're a man, though, and I am a wimp. I am not a very tough person. And no, it was cold today, bro. It was cold. That's all I got to say is it was cold. Holy shit, it's already been an hour. Let's see here. We'll hang on a little bit. People are still watching and asking questions. We'll hang on. Warsaw says, when I was younger back in 2007. My daughter was 10 in 2007. So anyways, good God, when he was younger in 2007. When he was younger, he used to watch the Army series, The Unit. It's a badass. The main actor who plays in it is the guy who plays. Yeah, I watched The Unit. The interesting thing is I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard of Delta Force. And Delta is arguably the most elite special ops unit out there. And if you're in or around Delta Force, you don't call them Delta. You call them the unit. And so I think that movie was probably based a little bit maybe on Delta, but because Delta is the unit. So they're unit guys. In case you guys didn't know that. If you ever meet a Delta Force guy and you want to kind of get in their good graces, don't call them Delta, call them the unit. And they'll appreciate that. Anyways, New York Outcast says, Ghost, what's the nicest thing you've seen someone do for someone else without wanting credit for it? I live in a small town in Arkansas, population about 10,000 and 10 to 12,000. And people here are awesome. I would say I see stuff all the time. I mean, it's something as simple as, I don't know if you guys, I mean, it's everywhere. I'm not saying it's just here, but I see it all the time here. But people will pay it forward, like they'll be up there, they'll pay for the person behind them for McDonald's in the drive-thru or something, or they'll pay for coffee. I've done it a couple times, but I've seen it a lot at Walmart. You'll see a woman with maybe 4 or 5 kids, and you could tell that they just don't have a lot, and they're up there trying to get their groceries and all that, and you just know that their life is not easy. And having someone pick up their tab for their groceries, I see that a lot. And it's just one of those things where it's just, I believe in karma. I believe that good juju is a real thing and bad juju is a real thing as well. So you try to have compassion. You try to, be thankful for what I have. And I'm not rich by any means, but I live a very comfortable life, and I'm blessed probably a lot more than other people are, especially in this town. And so it's nice to see that people are compassionate and caring. So I see stuff like that all the time. So you always try to do something good. I think good things come to good people. Excuse me. He said he was 9-ish in 2007. Jacob, God bless. Fucking babies. Just babies. Let's see here. Ghost Tactical from RL. You have someone that will buy you one legal machine gun. Which do you choose? A legal machine gun. Gotta go the 50 cal. Gotta go the 50 cal. Know what? Fuck. Let's go the minigun. I want to put 3,000 rounds per minute downrange. Let's go with a minigun. I'm in with a minigun. Either one, the 50 cal or minigun. But I'm going to say minigun. Let's go with a minigun. Rich says they still use blanks. They're just much more careful. Yeah, I don't know if I didn't know if they were, still using blanks or not. I knew there for a while after the Brandon Lee thing with the Crow. I know that they went away from using blanks there for a while. But yeah, they're still using them. I'm sure they're a lot more careful now, though. Midnight Range. We're all younger back in 2007. Yeah. I was in my 30s in 2007. Jacob says he was 9. My daughter was 10. I'm old enough to be your damn dad. Holy shit. That's scary. Mork was older in 2007. Let's see here. Mandatory Carry says you don't call deltas anything you won't know anyways. All right, so here's a fun thing about this is, so there's 1% of the military. 1% of the military were spec ops guys. Okay, I was not spec ops. But it's amazing when you're on Facebook or YouTube, or you get around a lot of people. Well, like I said, 1% is spec ops, but everyone you talk to online were special forces. Everyone was. So I think it's funny. Yeah, I think it's funny. Yeah. Anyways, everyone was special forces when they were in. Cal said he was 17 in 2007. Drop it like it's Scott. People are doing good things. Yeah, man. America's great, bro. We got some really good people. Humanity. Here's a bad thing about humanity. We're all good people at heart. There are some evil people, but most of us are very good at heart. The problem is all you see on the news is bad shit. That's why I stopped watching the news in October of 2018. No joke. I stopped watching the news October 1st, 2018. I haven't seen the news. Now, will I go, if I hear about stuff, will I go to the news? Yes. But I don't watch the news to watch the news anymore. Sorry. I am definitely, it's interesting with my dad passing away recently. We're having the thing Friday night, and people are sending me, family and friends and his friends from years and years ago are sending pictures and their memories and all that of my dad. And my dad was an awesome man. And, I always try to say that the glass is always half full with me, and I'm always trying to make silver out of shit. And I try to be positive any way I can. But one of the memories that a guy sent to me was, in his description of my dad was great. He says, and this was his best friend up until the day he died. They were best friends and all that. And he said, I don't really know how we became best friends, because he was always more of a half glass is half empty kind of a guy. And he said, your dad was at least a glass 3/4 full, if not spilling over the top at all times. And that was my dad. So I'm never going to say that I was ever as happy as my dad. My dad woke up every day and felt like the birds were chirping, the sun was out, and today's the greatest day ever. And that's just how he lived his life. And so I'm never going to be that happy, but I always try to see the better things in life. I try to be happy. I try to be in a good mood. I try to bring people happiness. I try to help people that are feeling down, because I want them to feel better about their lives and all that. But the news just doesn't give that to me anymore. That's why I quit watching. I got so sick and tired of watching the news and everything's negative. So I just stopped. I really did. Largest city I've ever lived in. I grew up in Dallas. I mean, it's huge. I mean, I think the Dallas Metroplex is, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 million people. I don't know. It's a big freaking town. So I grew up in Dallas. So big cities are kind of what I used to. It took a while when I moved to Arkansas to get used to it. I've been here almost 18 years. I'm still not completely used to it, but I've been here a long time. I've lived here as long as I lived in Dallas, which is scary. That's crazy. But yeah, I grew up in Dallas. So big cities, not a big deal to me. Andrew, New York, everyone who sits through Snob's show. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, Snob. We said that earlier, but it is Snob's birthday. Happy birthday, brother. Hope you had a great one. God, every time I start getting to catch up, Patriot says, Ghost, this is great. Semper Fidelis, bro. I got to go. Third time the charm when stripping wood out here. Hey, Semper Fi, brother. And thanks. Appreciate you, bit. Warsaw says, Ghost, if you had a person offer you a free ticket to Russia and shoot guns, AK variants, and many other Soviet-based machine guns, well, yeah. Hell yeah, I'd go. I love AKs, but I mean, I'd go to Russia. I wouldn't have any problem going to Russia. Hell yeah, I'd be there in a heartbeat. Not a problem. What was my MOS? I was in 02. I was intelligence, 02. I'm sport ops. He's a sport whenever possible. There you go. Mandatory. I was Coast Guard, the closest spec ops I came. All right, so all right, for real though. Okay, so Coast Guard, dude, you guys do some crazy ass shit too. So I want to say this: if you guys are over on Hulu, if you have Hulu, and I never knew of it before, but it was on Discovery Channel, but it's out on Hulu now, and it's called Surviving the Cut. And if you like kind of figuring out what some of the different schools are in the military in America are, go check out on Hulu called Surviving the Cut. It's like 5 or 6 episodes each season. There's only 2 seasons. So let's say 12 to 14 episodes total. But they have like Marine Recon School. They have the Air Force what do they call them? The pararescue guys. Those guys are badass. I'm not going to lie. Those Air Force pararescue guys, hell yeah. But they have like Marine Scout Sniper School, Army Sniper School. They've got all sorts of different stuff. If you're interested, it's kind of I've been watching them lately. And I don't know how I found them. I think I just found them searching through it, Hulu. But it's awesome. Go check out Surviving the Cut. They used to be on Discovery Channel. Now they're on Hulu. So awesome stuff. That'll kind of give you some insight of what goes on in some of these schools. Don't you know they give Ranger tabs out like candy these days? Apparently they give Ranger tabs out for anything. So yeah, everyone was a Ranger, everyone was Recon, everyone was a SEAL, everyone was whatever, you know. Ghost Tactical. Anyone else thoughts on the Russian Mosin 1938 for $350? I'm not an old gun guy, but I want to say that at Wanamaker this last time, it was between 300 and 400 were most of the Mosins. So I would say that's probably fair. If there's anybody out there that would probably know better, I'm not an old gun guy. I know a couple years ago, the Nagants and all of them, they were going for pretty cheap, but they're not now. They're a little higher now. They're probably overpriced right now. That the market's strong, I guess you could say. So I don't know if 350 is good, but I remember that's being about right for what they were at Wanamaker last time in November. Maybe sounds about right. I'm sure there's someone else out there that has a lot more knowledge on the Mosins than I do. Let's see here. You watch the weather, a spork or a dork. Let's see here. Marine Intel is cool. I don't know. I thought it was fun. We did some pretty cool shit. I don't know. Sure. Some people will say otherwise, but it is what it is. What was the movie where Kevin Costner was in the Coast Guard and went through the training, the swimming pool scene, all this stuff? You know, I remember that movie. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, that was, I mean, the Coast Guard, dude, I got a buddy of mine who was in the Coast Guard, and some of those guys, I don't know all of them, but some of those guys are pretty hardcore. So, like I said, you put on a uniform, I got mad respect for you, regardless of what you did, what branch, respect. You took the oath, so that's all good. You will never see Coasties on Surviving the Cut. I don't know. I've always asked myself this question. Do you think, even though America and Russia aren't really allies, but do you think the Russian government can be a partner against terrorism? Possibly. Possibly. I don't know. I think that Putin is an egomaniac, and he is all of it. Most of the hierarchy of Russia is very much want to get back to the way things were, where the hierarchy ruled and all that had complete control. And they all remember America as the big bad wolf. So it might take a while. It might take a couple more decades to the people that are leading the country were the people that grew up in the 90s and beyond after the wall came down. Then maybe. But as long as some of the old dogs that were still around during the Cold War still running the things, I wouldn't hold my breath. But maybe. You never know. Let's see here. The Guardian, was that it? I don't remember the name of it, but that was a pretty good movie. But The Guardian is what everyone's saying, maybe. Let's see here. So they're talking about the Mosin out there, so that's great. I think I had a couple texts come in. I'm sorry if you were sent a text in earlier. Let me see what this text is. from Jason says, picked up a new Mossberg 930 SPX with a Holosun to go on it. Semi-auto 12 gauge. You need one. I've got a couple semi-auto 12s. I like them. I'm not a big shotgun guy. I think everyone knows that. I own several pumps and all that, but I do have a couple. I've got a bullpup and a regular AR semi-automatic 12. I like them. I like them for specific things, but I'm not like a big shotgun guy, but I do appreciate what the shotguns do. He says hit or miss is live. See you later. Okay. Go watch Night Strike. Let's see. What do I think of the most affordable, less than 1,500 military spec rifle in the market is nowadays? Holy cow. There's a lot of good mil specs out there. FN's got some good stuff. Black Rain's got some good stuff. There's a lot of them under $1,500. There's a lot of great mil spec rifles out there. I mean, the great thing about 2013 when it kind of had the AR boom with Obama and his 23 executive orders trying to ban the AR and all that, it kind of boomed the AR market. And so now everyone's in that game. And so the great thing about that is people are trying to figure out better ways and newer ways and different ways, because an AR is an AR is an AR unless you change something up. So there's a lot of great ones out there. FN's got some really good stuff. Like I said, Black Rain. Blackwater's got some really cool shit coming out too. But Black Rain, I'm a big fan of Black Rain. But there's a lot of great companies out there doing a lot of great things. So yeah, I really don't want to say one company, because some companies are really good at one part of it, and other companies are really great at another thing of it. But yeah, be pretty cool. Travis says stay live. I'll stay live. I mean, it's 8:15. I'll stay on for at least another 15 minutes or so. I mean, I've still got 30 people watching, so if everyone's having fun, I enjoy doing this. Let's see here. Keith says, I've served with the Coast Guard a few times during law enforcement operation in the Caribbean Sea. Yeah, I have no problem with the Coast Guard. I mean, like I said, a buddy of mine was a Coast Guard, and I know that there are certain aspects of the Coast Guard that are extremely dangerous, and there's some badass freakers out there in the Coast Guard. So I'm all for the Coast Guard. And like I said, you take the oath, you serve, you wear that patch, and I've got nothing but love for you. They're still talking about that Mosin, it looks like. Ghost, what's been your proudest moment with your kid? I mean, there's so many different levels. I usually don't like talking about my family a whole lot on this stuff, but I can share a couple things. That's kind of my life. That's my personal life. But I'm proud of everything that my kid does, whether it's big or not. I mean, I'm a proud dad. I think that my daughter is amazing. I think all dads should believe that the kids are amazing, but she's a good kid. She has a great heart. She's very kind. She's very courteous. She's very hardworking. She has a great work ethic. Just in general, I'm just proud. But I mean, in sports, she's had so many accomplishments. She's a state record holder in several categories in softball. Played college softball. Won a national championship with her travel team when she was 14. All that stuff. But the sports stuff is great. There's a lot of great memories and all of that. But just being a good kid is just the proudest thing I've ever, is knowing that my kid is a good person, is proud, the proudest. Man, that's an everyday thing that I realize that, I think all kids are good, but there's some kids that are worse than others. But my kid's a good kid. And like I said, she's compassionate. She's got a great heart. So every day is a proud moment for me. That sounds corny. It sounds cliche. Really don't care. But I'm proud every day that she's my daughter. So, yeah. Warsaw says, gotta head out. Appreciate you. The gray ghost. Is that gray in your hair with a light? Oh, that's definitely gray. That's definitely gray. A lot of people think that I frost my tips. Nope, that's gray hair. My dad has white hair, or he did. Sorry, he had bright white hair. So, and my grandfather had white hair. So I'd say by the next 5 years, I'll have white hair, which I don't mind. As long as I've got hair, I don't care what color it is. But no, that's definitely gray, man. That's a lot of gray hair. I don't highlight it. That's not the lighting. I can't say that. That is gray. Let's see here. If I had a punt gun, the hell's a punt gun? Am I missing something, or did I punt gun? Oh shit! Oh, for the boat. I mean, if I had one, I'd use it. Why not? I mean, why wouldn't you? If it, hell yeah, why not? If I had one, then sure. Gotta hit the bed. Mandatory carry. He had the Coast Guard Special Ops ribbon. There you go. Rich, punt guns are great if you're having an annoying flock of geese. Yeah, that would be kind of fun. I wonder if we can go duck hunting with that. Gotta head out. See you, Warsaw. I like giving him shit. New York Outcast says, sorry then, my bad. What am I missing here? Why are you sorry for asking about the proudest moments, New York? That's a great question. Let's see here. Warsaw says, respect. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. G23 Ghost Tactical Woman was vacuuming her sidewalk with a working vacuum in Yakima. What? Vacuuming her sidewalk with a work. Yeah, she wants her sidewalks clean. I don't know. Some people are just like that, I guess. I don't know. Mandatory carry says, we have a special operations ribbon. He was wearing I was a black hole on PSU guys, so must be a white holler thing. I would imagine. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't know much about the Coast Guard, but I know that there's some guys out there that are some, like I said, they're all good. They're all good. RL's headed out. Appreciate you, RL. Be good, brother. Be safe. Punt gun, the muzzle. Yeah. I just didn't realize what the hell that was called a punt gun. When I went and looked it up, I didn't know it was called a punt gun. Fuck yeah, those things are pretty cool. They're old, but I mean, like you said, going duck hunting would be pretty cool. I'm just saying. Live for freedom. What's up, Liv? Says he definitely take gray hair over the reverse high and tight. I love it. A reverse high and tight. I love it. Pink says the batteries were dead in her broom. Yeah, I mean, those battery operated brooms are pretty handy. But I mean, hell, who are we to judge? If a person wants to go vacuum a sidewalk, they're just trying to be a good Samaritan and keep the yards and the sidewalks clean and all that, then hell, let them vacuum it. It's all good. It's all good. Guys, it is 8:22. Let me check my text messages. You guys have anything else for me? This has been a fun time. I enjoyed it. I need to start doing this. I might start doing this more than about once a month, maybe. It's kind of fun to kind of do this, and I've missed it. And like I said, I want to probably start doing maybe once a month, do a solo thing or whatever, and just have a live chat. Maybe I'll do it on Instagram, but I like doing this. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I answered all of your questions. If I missed a question out there, I'm sorry. I was getting behind, so I was trying to catch up. If I missed something, email me or put it in the comments down below, and I'll make sure I answer it. I hope that I didn't bore you too much, and I hope that we had a good time. I had a great time, kind of went down some rabbit holes and talked a little bit about everything, which I love. So if you guys, we still have 26 people out there watching, so I can stick around if you guys have any more questions or just want to hang out. If not, then, go check out Hit or Miss, and later on, go check out Sandhill Shooters show over on the Sandhill Shooters. I think it's called Get Off My Lawn podcast, which is a great one. Pink says, I got something else for you, but I'll give it to you in Nashville. Oh, okay. G23 says, mad respect. I don't know who he's talking to. If you're talking to me, thank you. I don't know what I've done to earn your respect, but I appreciate it. Hopefully I continue to do it. Respect is one of those things where I can be liked, I can be hated. I've got plenty of friends. I'm not looking for any more friends. I keep my inner circle very, very, very small and close, and my outer inner circle is bigger, but I still keep them close. But I think that everyone, I'm going to start going off down a little ring here, but I think that respect is a cool thing. So if you're talking to me, great. If not, then I just made a fool of myself. But thank you, and I think that maybe earning someone respect is maybe one of the coolest things anyone can do. So anything you can do to be a good person, a good husband, father, son, daughter, sister, brother, just be a good human being out there. And the world needs more good people. And like I said, the news shows a lot of bullshit out there, and there's a lot of bad, evil people out there, but there's a hell of a lot more good people out there. And maybe that's the way to break that stigma, is just be a good person every day and try to do something good for the community every day. And maybe that starts spreading and people just become a better place to live. Thanks for the show. Thanks for having us. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate you, buddy. Family is underrated. Family is everything. Family is everything. And don't forget, I'm on Patreon. Thank you to all my patrons. I love you guys. And, most of you guys know that I haven't done a whole lot on Patreon lately. And I apologize for that. Like, I haven't really done anything on YouTube lately. The last year has been weird with everything going on. Obviously, that has come to an end. And after this week, after everyone leaves, I'm going to start kind of getting back in. I'm going to start doing the old patron-only chats once a month and doing stuff. I apologize, but I do want to say to all my patrons out there, thank you so much for understanding that I haven't been engaging as much over there in the last year that I should, and I apologize for that. That falls on my shoulders, and I take the hit. But thank you so much for understanding, for being there for me, for just being part of the family, because family is underrated, and you guys are, my family in this realm of my life. So thank you for that. I'm never one that will say, hey, go join Patreon and support me. I'm not like that. If you want to, we'd love to have you. If not, just continue. If you like my stuff, share it, tell someone else that might like it. Come to these chats. This is really where I get the engagement. This is where I really have fun. I enjoy these live chats because I get to sit there and talk with my friends. And so if nothing else, just keep coming back, and hopefully we'll have a good time. Hopefully we'll learn some stuff together and get to shoot some guns and spread the gospel of the Second Amendment. So if there is nothing else out there, thank you so much for everyone out there. We love you. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone that has texted, emailed, called about my dad. I truly appreciate it. We're not doing a funeral. He was cremated last week, but this Friday we're doing a celebration of life, and we're going to play some music. We're going to play a bunch of old Beatles stuff and the 50s and 60s music. We're going to have some beer and wine and some food, and we're having family and friends come from all over the country, and we're just going to dance and have a good time and celebrate life and celebrate how good of a person my dad was. But anyways, so it's going to be over after this. So once again, thank you to everyone that's been contacting me. You don't know what that means to me. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Misha says his sticker. I don't have the stickers, bro. Clover has the stickers. I know that and we had 104 of them or whatever. And he has been diligently working on trying to get every envelope addressed and all of that. And I think he was done with that. So the stickers should be coming. Stickers, if you don't let me know, but Clover's taking care of the stickers. I'm not throwing them under the bus. I'm just saying that he has them, so I can't tell you when they're coming. But we did talk a couple of days ago, and he was saying that he just got finished getting all 100 and some odd envelopes done and packaged up. So they should be on their way. Mandatory, okay, have a good night. Fix might check it out later. I'll share it to her. Okay. Nighthawk, thanks, Ghost. It was fun. Nighthawk, seriously, at the range this weekend from 2 to 4, we're having a fun shoot. Come down and shoot with this. You're not too far from me, an hour and a half or so. Come down and shoot. Me and Buck hopefully will be there, and other people will be there, and I'll have some of your stuff for your winnings. Other stuff will be shipped to you, but I have some of the stuff with me, so I can give it to you then as well. So there you go. Was my dad military? No, he was not. His dad was an Army captain in Patton's Army. He was a tank commander. but my dad was not military. He tried to go to Vietnam, and he had pneumonia bad. Like when he was a young kid, he almost died of pneumonia when he was a kid, and so his lungs were pretty scarred up, and he didn't pass the physical. So he was not military. 223 says, I'm back. Well, I'm getting ready to leave, so it's all good. G23 says he's going to mail him this week. Okay, thank you. I knew that he had him done, so hey, no problem, Misha. No, I'm sorry that they haven't got him. I know he's been busy, and he was sick there for a while and all that, and I'm not making excuses, but yeah, they should be coming to you pretty soon. Sorry, my dad, thank you so much. My dad suffered for the last year. He was paralyzed, was being fed through a feeding tube for a long time. So he's in a much better place, and he's not suffering. He's not miserable. He is no longer a prisoner in his own mind. He is up there having a steak and a nice cold Coca-Cola right now. So he's happy. Thank you. Thank you, though. He said bus would clear over Clover. Well, Nighthawk, it's the Cleburne County Shooting Club. Cleburne County Shooting Club there in Heber Springs. So yeah, come on down. Anyone around Arkansas want to come down and shoot Sunday from 2 to 4? I'll be there shooting. We're going to have a good time. We're going to set up a little steel challenge stage and have a good time with it. How far down Arkansas? I am in North Central. I'm about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Depends on traffic in the one-lane highways here in Arkansas on the hills from the Missouri state line. It takes me about two and a half hours or so to get to Branson. So there you go. My pa was in Patton's Third Army. Yeah, my grandfather was a tank commander under Patton in Germany. So they probably they might have shared some of the same dirt. Wisdom says fun show. Yeah, it was fun. Like I said, I should start doing this more often. I really enjoyed it. Going for an hour and a half, and I really honestly didn't realize until I looked at my clock. It was 8 o'clock. I was like, holy cow. So I love doing this. I need to start doing this more often. It was fun. Thanks, guys. Quick tips for the first time gun shows. Enjoy it. Understand that prices are probably going to be a little inflated. So if you're going to look for something, understand that you're probably going to pay a little bit more than you can find it online, but you can get it right then and there. Just enjoy it. Go and look and see what some of the cool stuff that people are doing, and take the kids with you and introduce, gun shows to them. But quick tips, be prepared that prices are going to be a little bit higher, but you can also negotiate a little bit. It's kind of like a flea market type thing where you could probably negotiate that. But yeah, just enjoy. Excuse me, I got the hiccups now. Jesus. But just enjoy the gun show. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, he was a staff SHT. I don't know what that is. Maybe a staff sergeant, SGT, staff sergeant, probably, maybe. I know that my grandpa graduated from University of Indiana. He's from Bloomington, he's from Elkhart, Indiana. And he was a great man. He died when I was 13, but he was a captain in the Army. I know that. Sergeant. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I was like, SHT, I don't know what that is. Let's see here. Great chat goes. Thanks, Buck. And hopefully I see you Sunday from 2 to 4, bro. I shoot a lot with Buck. So, yeah, always enjoy seeing Buck. Misha, instant gratification. I don't know what that is. Instant gratification? Money? I don't know. Am I missing something? Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Let's see here. Had fun. Thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. I lost my dad 3 years ago. It sucks. It does suck. But once again, we all know that he's in a better place. So we're trying to make it a happy event. We're going to have a good time. Like I said, we're going to play some music, put some slideshows on, and dance and be around friends and family. So that's how he would have wanted to done it. And it's all that. Andrew says gun show best deals are Sunday afternoon. They don't. That's true. If you can go Sunday afternoon after church or something, that's where the deals are going to start happening, because they don't want to take that stuff home. So they're probably more willing to make a deal on Sunday than they will Saturday morning. That's for sure. All right, guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. had a great time tonight. So we're going to continue to do this. I think we're going to do this once a month. We're going to do a lone wolf, lone survivor type thing and have fun. But I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching a replay, go ahead and use the comment section below. Let me know what questions you have, and I'll be more than happy. I'm an open book, so ask away. So I appreciate you guys very much, and we'll see you soon. Semper Fi.